Okay, this court proceeding is being recorded by. Got it. Host is open breakout rooms. Please wait to be assigned. Okay. Am I doing this right? Okay, there we are.
Ms. Costas, can you hear me?
I'm looking for you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, good morning. What case are you here for?
Is that okay, Matt?
It's Aaron Builders and Helen Costas.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
I'm joking.
Mr. Assenbecker?
Yes.
Hi, good morning. Do you need a
Good morning.
breakout room with Ms. Costas, or are you set to go?
Ms. Costas is represented. Her attorneys,
Oh, yep,
Uh,
yep, I see
Jen
that.
Evanchik.
Okay, thank you.
Feel your heart. Mhm.
Mary Ann,
Yes, ma'am.
are you on base?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Yep, it just wasn't updating. Here we are. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. This is courtroom number 1. I am Judge Martin. Today's docket is exclusively civil matters. If you do not have a civil case, you are likely in the wrong place. You should send Mary Ann a chat. She will help you get where you are supposed to be. We have 230913 GC. That's Aaron Builders versus Helen Costas. May I have your appearances, please?
Morning, Your Honor. Scott Osmacher on behalf of Aaron Builders.
John Evanchik on behalf of Helen Costas, who is here as well, Your Honor.
Good morning. Today is the day and time set for the pretrial in this matter. How are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, I think we are going to request a trial date. There have been some ongoing negotiations as recently as this morning. We continue to hope to resolve, but I think having a trial date out there would properly incentivize the parties to keep moving.
Will you be ready in 2 weeks?
We can make ourselves ready in 2 weeks.
What do you, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes, we can make ourselves ready in 2 weeks.
I'm looking at Tuesday, October 21st. Nope. It would help if I was looking at the right calendar. Marianne, where did I get this date from?
You making dates up again?
I am making dates up again because that date's nowhere close to right. This is not a good start to the day. Gentlemen, give me 1 second.
Mhm.
I knew that date didn't sound right. It's October 17th at 10 a.m. You want to check your calendars?
I'm not available at that time, Your Honor. I have a hearing in the probate court that will probably not get done until after 10, I'm guessing.
November 7th at 1
Uh,
PM.
First day of my vacation in Disney, Your Honor. I can
Back
do a
on the
later
20
time on the 17th, sorry. I just can't do 10 o'clock.
You can do,
Probably
I
11.
was gonna say, let's go back to the 17th in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine in the afternoon. And would this be in person?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Is the 17th good for you as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm looking at 1 PM.
That works for me.
Live trial, October 17th at 1 PM.
Your Honor, I
in
haven't
Courtroom
been.
number,
Oh, I apologize.
go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say I haven't done trial before, Your Honor, so I was wondering if there's a place where I could access your pretrial protocols.
I have no real protocols for bench trials.
Okay.
Typically for the jury trials, I had people submit their proposed witness exhibit lists and jury instructions before, but if it's just the bench trial, if you want to submit your a bench book, that's fine. It's not required.
Does the court want a trial brief?
I don't typically request it. If you want to send one, that's fine. I'll read whatever the parties submit. If the trial is on Tuesday, the 17th, if there's something that you want me to consider beforehand, you should have it here by the 13th. I'm not ordering it, but if you think it would be helpful in setting out your client's positions, I'll
Okay.
consider it. So other than that, October 17th at 1 PM in person, courtroom number 1. The civil staff will mail out notices. Anything else on behalf of the plaintiff?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Anything else on behalf of the defendant?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Thank you much. I will see you here on October 17th. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is 225471 GC. This is Forest Health versus Andrew Brown. Your appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Navjot Francis on behalf of plaintiff's attorney of record P72322.
Good morning, Ms. Francis. This case was just scheduled at 9 o'clock. Have we seen Mr. Brown?
Not yet, Judge.
I did not either, Your Honor.
Ms. Francis,
we
the
also-
case is in my queue as ready, and my policy is about 15 minutes after the scheduled start time. So unless there's a signed order resolving of this case, I'll have you wait about 7 more minutes.
Okay, we also didn't get a copy of his answer, so I wasn't sure if there was an attorney or just the defendant to look for.
He's improper. Let's look at the answer. Oh, no, we've been here a couple of times on this. The first pretrial was back on April the 4th.
Okay. Sorry, my notes show we didn't get a copy of the answer.
I'm looking back in the file. I thought Mr. Collis and he had discussed it. It was an issue regarding his attempts to make payments. Let me see. We've been here. This is the 4th pretrial in this matter. Mr. Collis had not
Okay.
raised the issue of not having an answer. If you want to double check with him between now and the time I get back to you, I don't know if he's available for you to follow up. Otherwise, I'll have civil staff put a copy of the order in the mail, but this court's prepared to move forward on this case.
Thank you, Judge. I'll just wait for the appropriate amount of time.
Thank you. Ms. Westlake, have you had the chance to speak to Ms. Rich?
Yes, I have, Your Honor. We have a settlement that we will let on the record.
This is 230714 GC. This is Hunter Financial versus Leslie Rich. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, Your Honor. It's Nicole Westlake appearing on behalf of the plaintiff, Hunter Financial. Here she comes. Or no?
No.
Okay, Leslie Rich, here also.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Rich. Today is the day and time set for the pretrial in this matter, Ms. Westlake.
Yes, we have a settlement I'd like to put on the record. The total amount to be paid to Hunter is $5,585.
I'm sorry, ma'am, you broke up for a second. You said the total
Okay.
amount to be paid is,
$5,585. We're going to start payments of $155 starting on October 10th, 2023 until it's paid in full. And those payments will continue on then the 10th of each month.
is the 5585 inclusive of costs and attorney fees?
That's not something yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay. Ms. Rich, you were able to hear Ms. Westlake just now?
Yes,
And ma'am, it's your understanding and agreement that there will be Ms. Westlake, I'm assuming consent judgment.
Yes, Your Honor.
A consent judgment whereby you agree that you owe a total of $5,585 that you will pay at $155 per month beginning on October 10th.
yes.
And Ms. Westlake, do you intend to send Ms. Rich a consent judgment by email or 7-day order? How do you intend to do this?
Miss Rich, is that something that you would be willing to accept by email?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, then we will do it by email. And could you put us in a breakout room, Your Honor, after, so I can make sure that I have her email, but I don't want to put it on the record.
Right.
Absolutely. Mary Ann will move you back, but what I will do is I'll actually adjourn this matter over
Okay,
to November the 7th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Ms. Rich, so long as you sign the consent judgment, return it to Ms. Westlake, Ms. Westlake will file it with the court. You do not need to appear on the 7th. I just need a date to keep this matter moving forward, okay?
Okay.
Anything else, Ms. Westlake?
no, Your Honor, I do not have anything else.
Anything else, Ms. Rich?
Nope, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mary Ann will get you moved back into the breakout room with Ms. Westlake to exchange contact information.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, I just got a phone call from Malachi and he said that Andrew Brown is having difficulties trying to connect, but he's still, Malachi's walking him through it.
Thank you.
Mr. Cox? Good morning. Are you here on the city of Southfield?
Correct.
Thank you. Mr. Brown?
Yes,
Thank you. This is 225471 GC. This is Forest Health versus Andrew Brown. May I have your appearances, please?
Navjot Francis on
Excuse-
behalf of plaintiff attorney of record P72322.
State your name for the record, Mr. Brown.
Andrew Brown.
Today is a day and time set for the adjourned pretrial in this matter. Ms. Francis, how are we proceeding?
Judge, I would be happy to speak to Mr. Brown in a breakout room, but otherwise I believe we're ready to file a motion for summary disposition if it's not resolved today.
I'm sorry, ma'am, you say you're filing a motion for summary disposition?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you'd like to speak to Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, have you been in contact with Mr. Collis since we were last here?
He told me that I couldn't come and see him and that he didn't want to talk to me. So I've tried to reach him. I had got papers from,
Mr. Brown,
yes.
you're going to move into a breakout room to discuss the case with Ms. Francis. She's here for Mr. Collis this morning. If for
Okay.
some reason you get disconnected, please rejoin us, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Murphy,
Yes, ma'am.
do you need to speak to a representative from LVMV funding?
I really don't even know who they are.
The attorneys that have appeared before in this matter, sir.
Okay.
We'll get you moved into a breakout room with Mr. Werber. Mr. Begg, do you need to speak to Mr. Rogers?
No, I don't, unless he wants to discuss any type of settlement, but his position is that he's paid the debt, so I don't know.
Then let me call the case. It's 231454 GC. This is Midland Credit Management versus Terry Rogers. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. J. Latif Beg, BAIG, P 36820, appearing on behalf of plaintiff.
Mr. Rogers, state your name for me, please, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. Terry Rogers.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the pretrial in this matter. How are we proceeding?
Your Honor, also, I believe the motion for summary disposition was also noticed for today.
It was. Mr. Rogers, did you receive a copy of the motion from the plaintiff's office?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Did you file a response to it?
Yes, Your Honor.
When did you file a response, sir?
I want to say last Monday. Monday or Tuesday.
Mr. Big, does your office show receipt of a response from Mr. Rogers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Big, if you would proceed with your motion, please. I'm looking for an electronic copy of the response.
Okay, Your Honor. Yes, this is an action regarding credit card debt, original creditor Comenity. Your Honor, in the motion, we've supplied both we've supplied documentary evidence indicating the debt payments and purchases made. This is brought under C10. Your Honor, the defendant, even though he says he's filed a response, I don't see it. And I think the only thing that he's mentioned in defense is he's claiming that he's paid the debt, but he doesn't provide any legitimate proof of payment. So based on that, Your Honor, we're requesting that the motion be granted.
Thank you. Mr. Rogers, I am looking in the court's electronic file and I do not see a response from you to the motion. What is your response, sir?
The reason I know I responded because the 11th of November jumped out. That is the date that they're saying I paid last, which I went to the bank because I couldn't pull it up on my phone, but they can pull your bank records up no matter how many years they are. And I spoke with a Deborah Rogowski. She went in the bank, she went in the records and pulled up paperwork showing that I did not make a payment on that November. She said it wasn't taken from my account. She gave me her card and everything to send with some paperwork. And I sent them, she printed out the payment for the $3,000 that I sent to you, that I took off my phone and sent to the court. But she gave me the printout and I sent it to them in the response.
Mr. Rogers, the lawsuit was for $3,289.01. What's your response to the plaintiff's position that that is the amount that remains due and owing?
Well, my response is on June 21st of 22, I spoke with a representative at Comenity and I paid them $3,421.28. And she said that was clearing all my debt with Comenity. That's what the representative told me.
And Mr. Rogers, you're referring to the screenshot that you attached to your answer?
Yes, that's what the screenshot to the answer. And then when I went to the bank after looking over the paperwork that they sent and said that I paid on that account November of something of 21, which I know I couldn't have paid November because I was rehabbing from just getting out the hospital. And she gave a printout, and I put that printout in the response and sent it to them. I tried to call him first, but the number that's on there, all that paperwork they sent goes to talking about collection. I thought it would go to an attorney to talk with them, because I was going to let him know the paperwork I was sending.
In Your Honor, I'm in receipt of that screenshot. That really doesn't tell anything. It doesn't give an account that what was paid on. It doesn't give any specific information. He has not pulled any bank record, any other proof that shows that he made that $3,000 and plus payment and paid off this debt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Your Honor. I sent them in this response the printout, because it asked several times in that response, do I have bank records? And I thought that to be odd, since, yeah, I didn't have any bank records, but I went and once again, a Miss Deborah Wogowski printed out the bank records for me, and I sent it to you in the response to the P.O. Box address.
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, how you doing?
Hi.
No. Mr. Rogers, was there something else you wanted to say, sir?
I mean, I wish I had access to come in front of you, because I have more. I mean, I have this paperwork in my hand right now.
Mr. Rogers, here's the issue. I'm sorry, Mr. Begg, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry for the delay. We're still relatively new to OnBase, and so I'm trying to navigate it. Mr. Begg, the issue I see that the notice to appear has this notice up for a pretrial and motion date. I'm just looking for the actual start to your motion.
Interrupting this group, if you are supposed to join this group that came up on the phone.
Mr. Begg, do you see when the motion was actually filed? Do you have a filing date?
Yeah, let's see. Looks like it was signed August 17th of 2023. Let's see when the proof of service went out. Proof of service, September 19th of 2023.
Mr. Big, here's the issue. I'm looking in the electronic version of the file and I don't see that a motion was actually filed. I see it was noticed up today as a pretrial in motion, but if a motion was served on the 19th for a hearing on the 3rd.
Yeah, I know, I understand.
I'm sorry,
No, I understand where you're.
you understand? Mr. Rogers, here's the issue. The court, I'm unable to find a copy of the motion that was mailed to you on September the 19th, but if you have it, sir, you need to file a response to it. The court will adjourn hearing on the motion to our next docket date, which is November the 7th at 9:15. I will get with the civil department and find where that motion is. I see parts of a document, but it's not actually noticed up as a motion for summary disposition. So, Mr. Rogers, if there are documents that you want the court to consider, you need to file an actual answer to the motion for summary disposition. Serve a copy upon plaintiff's office, but we'll adjourn it over to November the 7th at 9:15 for hearing on the motion.
Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Bag?
Well, we still have this pre-trial. Can we just do a standard scheduling order? Maybe 60 days of discovery.
This is actually the 3rd pretrial in this matter, so I'm not sure why, I'm sorry?
Oh, okay, I didn't realize. So, then that request is not,
Right. Because if you're back on November 7th, we'll be setting trial probably on November the 21st if the motion is not, if the plaintiff is not successful in its motion hearing. But Mr. Rogers,
Yes, Your Honor.
November 7th at 9:15.
Yes, Your Honor. Also,
Court staff will mail notice out to you. Yes, sir.
yeah, via Zoom.
also,
I'm sorry.
Via Zoom.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Rogers.
also, now, like I said, I sent the stuff to the P.O. Box address. I live right around the corner from the court. Can I bring paperwork around there as well, just to make sure there's more than one copy out there?
Sir, anything that you file in this case, you should be sending a copy to plaintiff's office and filing a copy with the court. You're more than welcome to walk it in, but we do e-file here too.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Rogers?
No, Your Honor.
I'll see you in November, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you
Thank
as
you.
well.
This is 231362 GC. This is City of Southfield versus Denise Hildreth.
Good morning, Your Honor. May I please the court, Keith Cox of Winters and Associates on behalf of the plaintiff, P59146.
State your name for me, please, ma'am.
Denise Hildreth.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the pretrial in this matter. How are we proceeding, Mr. Cox?
Well, Judge, we were before Your Honor on a first pretrial about 60 days ago. At that time, this is a $530 ambulance bill. Ms. Hildreth indicated that she believed she had Medicaid or Medicaid should have been billed or paid. My client billed Priority Health. There was no coverage. They never have any evidence of Medicaid, and their review of the Medicaid system shows that she didn't have coverage on that date. My office went ahead and filed a motion for summary disposition last week, which is not set for hearing at this time. We also set for a time and date to be set by the court with the hope that we would pick a date today to have that motion heard. But as of this moment, Judge, we haven't resolved the matter.
You have not resolved the matter.
Correct. And the motion
Miss-
is pending, but it's pending without date yet, Judge, and we're hoping maybe we could set a date today.
The November 7th at 9:15.
Does the plaintiff need to renotice the motion based on the fact that our notice to appear set a time and date to be set by the court, or will the court send out its own notice? Or is this notice deemed sufficient on the
The
record?
clerks will notice.
Okay.
Clerks to renotice as an adjourned pretrial motion for summary disposition date on November 7th at 9:15. Ms. Hildreth, do you understand what I just said?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
The plaintiff has filed a motion asking the court to dispense with this case short of trial. They would have attached documents to it or proof of what they're alleging is due, the $530.20. The court will schedule the matter for hearing on November the 7th at 9:15. The court staff will mail you a notice indicating that that date, November 7th, will be an adjourned pretrial date and the motion for summary disposition date. If you have received a motion for summary disposition, which is what it will be captioned from the plaintiff's office within the last week or two, if you want to file a written response, you need to have it filed, serve a copy on the plaintiff's office, and file a copy with the court. And we'll take up the issue on November the 7th at 9:15.
Your Honor,
Okay,
what if this-
so, and come November, excuse me, Mr. Cox, come November the 7th, will I have the ability to have a say in this matter? Because I haven't had any type of communication where the court has heard exactly the violations that have occurred with Ms. Winter's office now collecting of this medical debt. And it's going very far within the court system that due to the violation before the case even became a court case, Southfield Fire Department did not accurately bill this bill, which would have been paid by Medicaid. They never attempted that.
Ma'am, you said a stay of these proceedings. Why would there be a stay of the proceedings?
I didn't say the word stay. I said I don't have a say, like a voice. I've never.
Oh, a say.
A say. I've never communicated with the court, and the proceedings are moving rapidly towards a trial for $530 of a medical bill where my HIPAA laws were violated, and we've gone very far in the court proceeding versus acknowledging we shouldn't even be at this point.
Where should we be, Ms. Hildreth?
We should be at the point where Southfield Fire Department did not accurately bill for this to be paid through Medicaid because I was eligible for Medicaid at this time. They did not do that.
I'm interrupting you because this case will not be resolved today, and we are actually not far in the proceedings. We were here originally on August 1st, at which time you would have had the opportunity to speak to someone from Ms. Winter's office. And then today was the adjourned pretrial.
My apologies. I'm sorry.
You don't have to mute yourself, ma'am, but I'm trying to explain to you where we're going. No. And then today was the day for the adjourned pretrial, which means you would have had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Cox. He's indicated to the court that there's a motion filed and he's asking for a date for it. I put the date on November 7th at 9:15 back on Zoom. In response to his motion, you can put in there everything you want to put in there for your reason why judgment should not enter in their favor. I read your answer, but the answer is just a preliminary response to the complaint. Mr. Cox's motion will be a detailed request for entry of judgment based on what they attached to that motion. Was there something else, Ms. Hildreth? You don't have to mute yourself, ma'am. It's not that you don't have a say. There's like a 2-second delay between the time I stop speaking. So when you start talking, I stop so I don't miss something that's important. So is there anything else, ma'am?
No.
Anything else, Mr. Cox?
No, Your Honor.
I'll see you back here on November 7th at 9:15. Court staff will mail out notice that is for the pretrial and motion for summary. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Francis, did Mr. Brown come back in 225471 GC Forest versus Brown?
He did. We were finally able to connect. We were not able to come to a resolution, so we were just going to get a date for a motion for summary.
November 7th at 9:30. I know that Mr. Brown was on the phone and had some trouble connecting. Court staff helped him initially, but I don't see him anymore. Motion for summary, November 7th on Zoom, 9:30. Anything else, Ms. Francis?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
If Mr. Brown comes back on, we'll advise him of that update. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
This is 230903GC. This is Genesis Johnson and James Cheatham versus Robert Funk. May I have your appearances, please?
John Vanchuk on behalf of the plaintiffs, Your Honor.
Corey Steen, present on behalf of defendant Daniel Edgar.
Your Honor,
Thank
if I
you.
may-
Have you gentlemen had the opportunity? I'm sorry.
Yeah, if I may, just to truncate this, we've reached a settlement agreement's been signed. We submitted the dismissal this morning about 9:15, and I think we're all set.
You were actually submitted it to civil department already?
Yeah, I submitted via my file at 9:15.
That
Hey,
was the note says on September 5th that it was resolved for mediation. As of this morning, when I checked at 8:20, it wasn't there. So if you
Yeah,
filed
no, I
something
understand.
recently,
Sorry.
I'll look in on base and when I get off the bench, and if there's something in there, I'll sign it. If not,
You'll call us up and yell at us?
if not, Sandy will call your offices to find out why it's still not here.
All right, hopefully I won't be getting
Mr.
a
C, was
call.
that an accurate recitation of the status of this matter?
It was, Your Honor. We have a signed settlement agreement, and I believe I saw the M-file notice that the stipulated dismissal was filed.
Wonderful. Thank you both. Have a
Thank you,
good day.
You
Thank you,
too.
Your Honor.
This is 232152 Citibank versus Kim Robinson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Preston Nate, P77884, appearing for Citibank.
State your name for me, please, ma'am.
Kim Robinson.
Thank you. Ms. Robinson, today is the day and time set for your motion to set aside default judgment. Have the parties had the opportunity to speak?
We haven't yet. I'm happy to go into a breakout room if Ms. Robinson would like to.
Ms.
Okay.
Robinson, do you want to go in and speak to the attorney?
Yes.
You'll see an invitation to go into a breakout room. When you come out, I'll recall the case.
Very good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is 232641GC. This is LVMV Funding versus John Murphy. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Jeff Werber, P67124 on behalf of the plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is John Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Today is the day and time set for the pretrial and motion for summary disposition. Mr. Werber, are you ready to proceed with your motion?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Please
Today,
proceed, sir.
thank you. This was originally a Sam's Club credit card issued by Synchrony Bank. The credit card was opened on August 24th, 2014, paid on for years, almost 6 years, with a last payment date of March 22nd, 2020. At that point, it left a deficiency balance of $1,937.21. Attached to plaintiff's motion were numerous monthly billing statements, all mailed to the defendant at his current address. These statements did show payments made by the defendant. The defendant filed an answer. It was merely a general denial. In his affirmative defenses, he stated he plans to file bankruptcy. He stated that at the initial pretrial. As of yesterday, I do not show that the defendant has filed bankruptcy. Pursuant to MCR 2.116 C9 and C10, defendant has failed to state a valid defense, and there is no genuine issue as to any material fact, and plaintiff requests that this court grant its motion today.
Thank you. Mr. Murphy,
Yes, ma'am. Your
did you
Honor.
file a written response to the motion for summary disposition?
I don't know what a summary disposition is.
Did you receive a packet of information from the plaintiff's office attaching the statement and asking for a judgment in the amount of $1,937.21?
I don't remember getting any such statement. When was
Did
it?
you receive something from plaintiff's office since the last time we were here on September 5th?
No, ma'am. Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Mr. Murphy, do you have a response to the plaintiff's argument that judgment should enter based on the 6 years of use and payments demonstrated by the documents attached to their motion for summary disposition?
The only thing is, since all that happened, I've been out of work and medically, so I don't have the funds available. If I had them, hopefully you can tell by my previous record with them that I did pay, but it's hard to pay what you don't have.
Anything else, Mr. Murphy?
No, ma'am. Your Honor, I am also under a doctor's care. So.
Ma'am?
Yes,
There's someone speaking in the background.
sorry. I believe my wife was trying to say that I have dementia.
Was there anything else, Mr. Murphy?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Werber?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. The court, having had the opportunity to review the plaintiff's motion for summary disposition and there not being a written response filed, Mr. Murphy's position being a financial difficulty or inability to pay, that's not a valid defense to the motion for summary disposition or the original complaint in this matter. The court will grant the plaintiff's motion for summary disposition. Mr. Werber, if there was not already an attached proposed judgment or order attached to your motion, please submit one to the court. Principal damages being $1,937.21. Plaintiff will recover its court costs and statutory attorney fee. Anything else, Mr. Werber?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Murphy?
Yes, I believe that with my current position financially, I don't have the money. If I had the money, I'd be paying them.
I understand that, Mr. Murphy. The issue is an inability to pay and having the obligation are two separate things. So I hear what you're saying and I understand completely, but that your financial situation does not negate the fact that there's an obligation for this credit account.
So let me ask you this, Your Honor. If you don't have the money, where are you supposed to get the money to pay him?
How the plaintiff collects on his judgment, if it ever collects on his judgment, is a plaintiff's issue. The court has no concern in that. There are judgments that go unpaid all the time.
Okay, so
You just want.
it's like in limbo then, right?
It's not in limbo. This court will enter the judgment that Mr. Werber's office submits, and it will close out the court case. It'll close out the active part of the case. How the plaintiff collects, how they undertake to collect, that's the plaintiff's issue. Their attorney's office that's their job.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, sir. Good luck to you. Have a good day.
Thanks
Thank
again,
you.
Your Honor.
You're welcome,
Bye.
sir. This is 233084GC. This is Pioneer Financial versus Lambert. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Jay Lazar on behalf of the plaintiff, P69480.
Hi, it's Marquita Lambert.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the adjourned pretrial in this matter. Mr. Lazar, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, since we gave Ms. Lambert the opportunity, we have not received anything from her showing any proofs. Plaintiff did file everything, full documentation with its summons and complaint and served her. We will ask for a motion for summary date, Your Honor.
Ms. Lambert, were you able to hear Mr. Lazar just now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor, but
Well-
I didn't understand all of the legal, but if it's possible, can I speak to him?
Speak to him right now.
Well, last time we were able to speak and we were able to come up with a payment agreement and I wanted to accept it.
Mr. Lazar, do you have time to go into a breakout room with Ms. Lambert?
Your Honor, if we may, because we kind of went down this hill the last time, and then because she didn't want to do interest, we don't have to get into the whole details of it. If we could just assign a motion date, I'd be happy to have Ms. Lambert contact our office. In fairness, we've tried contacting her. We can't get a hold of her. So we'll put the ball in her court to call us at her convenience. I'd be happy to work out a pay arrangement with her, but if it does fall through the cracks, I think the best thing to do would be to set a motion date, Your Honor.
So I apologize. I don't know of any reaching out to me. However, like I said, I'm willing to take, I got a negative medical diagnosis. I just want to settle the issue. So I'm willing to take the payment arrangement that we discussed. And I don't know, and when you're saying reaching out to me, I didn't receive any letters or phone calls, and I apologize.
Then, Ms. Lambert, let's do this. The court will set the adjourned pretrial motion for summary date as November 7th at 10 a.m. back here on Zoom in courtroom number 1. But what we can do now is if Mr. Lazar, unless you have some other court you're assigned to right now, sir, we'll move Ms. Lambert into a breakout. Are you somewhere else? You're muted. Mr. Lazar, you're muted.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Again, I don't mean to be disrespectful in any way, but we've done this a few times now where we've had settlement discussions and it just ends up in the same spot where she doesn't want to pay the full amount. If this was the first go around, I'd be happy to do it, but I do have to get to another court. If she calls our office, I'd be happy to give her an agreement. There'll be no issues. If she wants to do it, there'll be no problems.
Ms. Lambert.
I apologize, but I've only spoken to him once. But what you tell me what I'm supposed to do, and again, I will do what I'm supposed to do.
Ms. Lambert, what I'll say to you is that I have adjourned the pretrial and scheduled, set a motion date for November 7th at 10 a.m. Between now and then, if there's something you want to discuss with his office, I would suggest you call. Their number should be on the notice to appear that you received to come this morning. If you're unable to get a hold of someone, their mailing address is on there as well. Submit your request in writing to them regarding what it is you're offering to do to resolve this matter. And then if we come back on November 7th and you haven't had communications, that's a lack of the parties trying, but we'll take it up. We'll take a plaintiff's motion on the 7th of November, okay?
Yes, yes, you are.
Just Miss Lambert, call me anytime this afternoon.
Okay. I'm looking at this paperwork. Okay, I will call you.
Thank you, everybody.
Anything else, Mr. Lazar?
Nope. Well, hopefully we hopefully won't see you November 7th at 10 o'clock, but if we do, we'll see you then. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. Have a good day, Ms. Lambert.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Ms. Dixit, your case is scheduled at 10 o'clock. Has it been resolved?
No, Judge, it has not. It just said I appeared 15 minutes early per the notice, so but it is still at 10, Judge.
I usually allow 15 minutes after the scheduled start time. So if Ms. Adams is not here by 10:15, I'll call your case and get you on with your day. If you have something else you want to go black for the next, until Ms. Adams appears or 10:15, that's fine.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. This is a recall of 232152 GC Citibank versus Robinson.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning again, Your Honor.
The parties have had the opportunity to speak. How are we proceeding, Mr. Nate?
We didn't get it resolved today, so we'll have to proceed. I did have a question about the default. I'm not seeing it on my end. Does the court have a default entered on this case?
We don't. What happened is Ms. Robinson filed a motion to set aside default before a default judgment had entered. The motion is here. I've seen it. Someone else scheduled the matter for hearing.
Okay.
Because I typically would have just set it as a pretrial so that,
Yeah.
because I was taking the motion as an answer. But that's an aside more than anything else. Ms. Robinson,
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
you've had the opportunity to speak to the attorney.
Yes.
Ma'am, you understand there had not been a default judgment entered in this case?
Yes.
Okay, so you filed a motion to set aside a default judgment where a default judgment had not been entered.
I guess my suggestion would maybe treat this morning as a pretrial conference. It looks like we did receive an answer, and I'm sure the court did as well. If the court wants to treat that more as a pretrial conference today instead of a motion to set aside defaults, it's one.
And ma'am, Judge. Hello?
I'm here.
Oh, yeah, Judge. I just got some papers on my door. I don't know what this is or what's going on. I'm trying to get it straightened out, get it cleared, get it dismissed. I asked them for validation. They don't have no contract. They don't have no proof. They don't have my signature. And they just keep sending me piles and piles of papers. I've been calling back and forth for a month, you know, trying to see what's going on, what happened, what is this? I have no idea what none of this is. They don't have a signature contract or purchase, purchase. All this right here is just paper. I need some type of validation. I don't even know what none of this stuff is. I've been calling, trying to get it straightened out.
Well,
I have
Ms.
no idea
Robinson,
what's going on. And every time I ask them, they say they don't have this and have that. And then they said I made a payment in April 2021. He don't have a statement of that or proof of purchase or how I paid, who paid, or I don't know what this is. And here's the paper right here. They sent all this to me. They keep sending me the same stuff over and over and over. And the statements are all fees. There's
All right. I can clarify.
This whole big pile is just all fees. It don't say, well, what they bought or where it went or what address or, I don't know what this is.
Mr. Nate, before you respond, Ms. Robinson, the reason why we're here this morning is that you filed a motion to set aside default judgment. What I was trying to explain to you is that there had not been a default judgment entered. So your motion is going to be denied as it's procedurally incorrect. But your motion responded, at least in part, to the complaint that was filed. So what Mr. Nate asked is that today's hearing be treated as the pretrial, which is the party's usually their first opportunity to appear in court and discuss the case. Does that make sense to you? Oh. No.
Did we lose her?
We did, Mr. Nate, if you could sit tight for a moment, hopefully she'll reappear. Ms. Dixit and Ms. Adams.
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
This is 191427 GC. This is Westlake versus Adams. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, good morning, Judge. This is Natasha Dixit on behalf of the plaintiff. My P number is 82333.
And Jacqueline
State your
Adams.
name for me. Thank you, Ms. Adams. Today was the day and time set for hearing on the plaintiff's motion to set aside the installment payment order.
Judge, may I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
I had filed online or tried to do it online. It was denied. So when I came in person, I kind of hurriedly wrote down some expenses, but it didn't include everything. So I had received a notice just yesterday in the mail saying expenses provided in defendant's motion indicate defendant has the ability to pay well over $100 a month. However, I didn't have an opportunity to list all of my expenses. I had to come during my work hours and kind of like hurry up and fill out the form. So I do have a more detailed list of my expenses to substantiate the reason why I wanted to adjust the payment.
Ms. Adams, what I was going to suggest is that you go into a breakout room with Ms. Dixit. The court did receive the response as well. The parties can go into a breakout room and see if they're able to resolve a reset of the payment agreement. If not, when you come back out, I'll recall the case and we'll have a discussion about setting aside the last payment order. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Hello, Judge.
We're back on the record in 232152 GC. Ms. Robinson.
Yes, ma'am.
I was explaining.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was explaining that your motion was denied as it was procedurally inaccurate, but that we would treat today's hearing as a pretrial conference, the party's first meeting. My question to you was next going to be, have you received everything you need from the plaintiffs? You said you had documents from them already.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Nate, how would you like to proceed this morning, sir?
Well, if we could get a period of discovery, I think that would be helpful, just in case we need to exchange any more documents, and then probably a date for a motion for summary hearing if needed. And then we'll go from there.
Discovery will open immediately and will be open for 30 days. Let's put the motion for summary on.
And
Put the motion for summary. I'm sorry, go ahead, ma'am.
yeah, his office already said that they didn't have it. You know, I've been asking and calling, you know, his office don't have it. All they have is
I understand what I understand what might have been said to you before your first court date, Ms. Robinson, but you're now in front of the court. There's a discovery order, discovery to start immediately. Anything you want from them, put your request in writing to them. Anything they want from you, their request will be in writing. It might be a request for documents. It might be a request to admit. It might be interrogatories that you need to respond to in writing.
I did all that, ma'am, several times, all in writing requests. I done all of that.
I understand, Ms. Robinson, but it usually is different once a judge says to a plaintiff's attorney, discovery is open, request in writing, and if they can't produce it, then they can't produce it. And how do you prove your case if you can't produce anything that you say is necessary to show your case?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Motion for summary date will be November the 21st. at 10 a.m. back here on Zoom. So Ms. Robinson, if you receive a motion from the plaintiff's office, motion for summary disposition, we'll be back on November 21st at 10 a.m. to have a hearing on that motion. If you respond, your response should be in writing, a copy to plaintiff's attorney's office and a copy to the court, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Anything else, Mr. Nate?
No, Your Honor, that sounds good today. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Robinson?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll see you back here on November 21st at 10 a.m. You have a wonderful day.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson.
Thank you. This is a recall of 191427 GC Westlake versus Adams. The court notes your appearances for the record. Parties have had an opportunity to speak. Ms. Dixit, how are we proceeding?
Yes, Judge, we do have a resolution. The parties did agree to a payment arrangement plan of 100 per month. First payment due by November 1st of 2023, and then due by the 1st of each month going forward.
Ms. Adams, is that your understanding and agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will have the, Ms. Dixit, will you have your office submit an order resetting the payment plan in that amount if there's not?
Judge, would it be, can we do an amended stipulated payment plan? Would that be okay?
That's fine. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll go ahead and send Mr. Adams an amended stipulated payment plan. And once we have it, we'll send it to
Thank
the court.
you. Anything else, Ms. Adams?
No, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That concludes this matter. You're free to go. You have a wonderful day.
You as well. Thank you.
And Mary Ann, that concludes our docket. This court stands adjourned.
Okay.